I love coffee, but coffee doesn't love me. So instead, I make a dandy chai. But here's the trick that I put in my dandy chai that you can add to your homebrew coffee as well, right? So how I make my dandy chai is I just get about an inch of fresh ginger and 6 or 7 cardamom pods and get them in here, right? Then I add a teaspoon of my roasted dandelion to my little cup. But here's the trick. I add in some corn silk, which I leave on the windowsill whenever I use organic corn, right? You just tear it off. You don't use the brown dead bits from off the top of it. You cut that bit off and you just get the lovely white fresh silk. And I put that in as well. And if you happen to have, some old organic or homegrown wilted roses, you can throw some rose petals in there as well. If not, you can chuck some goji berries, right? Now any of these things are going to help counterbalance the heating qualities of coffee, right? And so how the corn silk works is the corn silk is famous for these long threads here. They are actually the fallopian tubes of ZMAs of corn, right? But they have this cooling, heat channeling, soothing quality that goes through, the way to remember it, all the tubes of the body. So it's used for cholecystitis, for gallbladder colic. It obviously can be used for fallopian tubes, right? Because fallopian tubes, and it's most famous for the urethra, right? And so in all of these actions, it soothes and helps the flow of fluids, and it calms irritation and heat. And so the heat and the stimulation of coffee, because it's a very heating, stimulating substance, then can get channeled out through the body more easily by the inclusion of some of your corn silk here. And how does it taste? Not like much at all, right? It doesn't taste like much at all. And the same with obviously a few of your rose petals, right? You can chuck some rose petals in there really beautifully. And the same with the goji berries. And so the rose and the goji berries also help cool the liver, which gets heated by all the activity that has to do to transmute and transform that coffee from a dark, black, aromatic liquid into clear urine, right? That's alchemy, right? Lead into gold, right? And the process of assisting and soothing the liver's yin, the succulent, juicy, blood-rich liver, right? In its capacity to do that is enhanced by using these kinds of herbs, right? Other ways that it's enhanced is by making a bulletproof coffee and adding MCT oil in it, right? The medium chain triglycerides of coconut oil, right? So if you use coconut oil or MCT oil in your coffee, it'll also replenish those resources in the liver, because the liver not only has to process it, but it also squeezes out all its stored reserves of glycogen, dumping it into the bloodstream so you have energy for all that adrenaline to use, right? And so, yes, my body doesn't like coffee at the best of times. When I do have coffee, I add some of these things to it, but I also put them in my beautiful dandelion chai. And when I'm feeling naughty, I also put a little bit of loose black leaf tea inside there for a little bit of a caffeinated buzz, like I'm going to do this afternoon. Give it a try. It's delicious. And then you have a guilt-free, heat-free, lower side effects to your lovely hot, warm beverage.